Burkina Faso, from Thomas Sankara to President His Excellency Ibrahim Traoré. The High Council of Burkinabés Abroad, United Kingdom, speaks exclusively on The Motivator Show.
In the past, you came to Africa with armies and took our lands. Now you come with companies and contracts. You used to rule us with whips and guns. Now you control us with loans and deals. We will tell them that Africa is a continent of hope, a continent of fighters, and Africa is a continent of the future. And we are going to fight for that.
Godo, the oldest Morsi kingdom, believed to have been established by Quadodo himself. By the 11th century, the descendants of Quadodo established a centralized state that became known as the Morsi Kingdom. This kingdom played a significant role in shaping the region's history and politics. Burkina Faso, from Thomas Sankara to President His Excellency Ibrahim Traoré. The High Council of Burkinabés Abroad, United Kingdom, speaks exclusively on The Motivator Show.
past, you came to Africa with armies and took our lands. Now you come with companies and contracts. You used to rule us with whips and guns. Now you control us with loans and deals.
We will tell them that Africa is a continent of hope, a continent of fighters, and Africa is a continent of the future. And we are going to fight for that.
Sankofa, the oldest Morsi kingdom, believed to have been established by Kwadwo himself. By the 11th century, the descendants of Kwadwo established a centralized state that became known as the Morsi Kingdom. This kingdom played a significant role in shaping the region's history and politics. Burkina Faso, from Thomas Sankara to President His Excellency Ibrahim Traoré. The High Council of Burkinabés Abroad, United Kingdom, speaks exclusively on The Motivator Show.
In the past, you came to Africa with armies and took our lands. Now you come with companies and contracts. You used to rule us with whips and guns. Now you control us with loans and deals.
We will tell them that Africa is a continent of hope, a continent of fighters, and Africa is a continent of the future. And we are going to fight for that.
Sankofa, the oldest Morsi kingdom, believed to have been established by Kwadwodo himself. By the 11th century, the descendants of Kwadwodo established a centralized state that became known as the Morsi Kingdom. This kingdom played a significant role in shaping the region's history and politics. Burkina Faso, from Thomas Sankara to President His Excellency Ibrahim Traoré. The High Council of Burkinabés Abroad, United Kingdom, speaks exclusively on The Motivator Show.
In the past, you came to Africa with armies and took our lands. Now you come with companies and contracts. You used to rule us with whips and guns. Now you control us with loans and deals.
We will tell them that Africa is a continent of hope, a continent of fighters, and Africa is a continent of the future. And we are going to fight for that.
Tenkoto.
Here we are. Here we are. It's the motivator here. This is where we translate our words into action. And where success is definitely ours for the taking. That is what you've got to believe, people. That is what you've got to believe. That's why you're here on the Motivator Show, to be inspired, to be motivated to do that which you know needs to be done. Praise Jah. Oh, yes. Let's keep moving forward, shall we? This is going to be yet another inspirational podcast. And I'm assuring you, you will be totally enthralled for what we've got coming up for you. In what? 40 minutes, we've got the main interview. And that interview can be truly captivating. I am assuring you, truly captivating. You'll see the president of the High Council of Burkina Faso here in United Kingdom, here in Britain, speaking directly to us here on the Motivator Show. And his words, his speeches, his responses to our questions are truly inspirational, truly motivational. That is what we need in good leaders. Yeah. Who motivate you to do good for yourself, your family, and indeed the community around you. That's the way we transform the world for the better. For the better. Oh my gosh, yeah, for the better. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? We ask that question here on the Motivator Show deliberately because one of our basic tenets is to be concerned for our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, uncles and aunties. We're here to be concerned, to have empathy for you, okay? Which is why the Motivator shows, these episodes are all campaigning episodes, yeah? They arise subjects which are not generally discussed or being discussed but from a particular angle, which, you know, for the Motivator show, we want to go to the source, unfiltered. We want to ensure the content that's supplied to you is authoritative, it is robust, and can withstand scrutiny. So you can trust it. Yep. So you can trust it. And each of these episodes are, of course, a learning experience. Yes, it's entertaining. I can do my bit. It's entertaining, but ultimately we learn from each other. And in doing so, we are exhibiting that holistic qualities that human beings possess, that enables us to learn from each other and to discover about ourselves through other people. And in turn, we have empathy and sympathy for others. And thereby we have the capacity to overcome those artificial barriers and become whole, real human beings. There's no need for anger, rancor, or war. There is no need. There's a better way to find solutions to issues, to problems that befall us, or misunderstanding that has occurred, or indeed to taper an individual's or group of people's greed, hubris. There are other ways. Absolutely, there are other ways. I smile because it's taken many decades of realization to be able to recite those words to you directly and know and understand the significance of their meaning. Oh, yeah. And together we will further understand the significance of those words together in this and other future episodes of The Motivator Show, because this is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Okay, well done. Okay. So now, I want to just remind you, maybe one or two of our past contributors, and of course, just take on board some of the campaigns that we're currently involved in. That we are involved in quite a number. Okay, a campaign that are meaningful, impactful because of their significance. If once fulfilled, we will all be impacted by them. Okay, without a shadow of a doubt. But as is the tradition, I want to thank previous contributors to the Motivator Show. And many of you be aware that we've had a series of truly inspired podcasts this year. Podcasts which, of course, have blown some people's minds. I know. Okay. The most recent podcast, of course, in which we discussed the effect of Alzheimer on our families, our communities, indeed, our societies, particularly here in Britain. Okay. You know, Alzheimer's, just like many of these conditions in which memory loss is the focus, is growing. Both because we are living longer, it appears to be associated with that, but there are certain conditions, such as Alzheimer's, which are not related to age, but are related to lifestyle conditions and other factors. So this issue is growing, increasing numbers of people becoming forgetful. Yeah. Terrifying. Lived your whole life, and in your closing years, you forget who you are, and your family are aware that you've forgotten who you are. And therefore, your wives, your husbands, loved ones, sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, cousins, close friends you've known for many years, you forget them. Yeah, devastating. And those within your families or your networks who then care for people who have this condition, such as Alzheimer. Oh, you are such fantastic people. And of course, we had Aston in our last podcast. He was able to recite the story and experience with his mother. Uri gave up a very successful, profitable career to look after his mother. What did he say? Do you remember what he said? He said, I wanted to give back for the love, caring, and sacrifice that my mother had given to me. It is perfectly reasonable for me to repay her in her passing days. What a tremendous human being, full of empathy, full of love, full of caring. That's real love. Not what always feeling stuff. It's these actions, that devotion. On behalf of the Motivator Show, Aston, we say thank you. Thank you for living up. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you. If you've never heard that before, we're saying again, thank you. And for all the carers across the country here in Britain, United States, the Caribbean, Africa, and the rest of the world, thank you. Thank you. Your sacrifice has not gone unnoticed. Wonderful father, a wonderful man, wonderful human being. Well done, Aston. Well done. And if you haven't watched that particular podcast, please go to the YouTube channel, the Motivator Show YouTube channel, and you'll see it. Alzheimer Among Us, Turning Awareness into Action is the title of that podcast. Okay, it is definitely a worthwhile watch. Okay? Definitely a worthwhile watch. And I want to thank the feedback I've received. It's been powerful, poignant, in some cases, truly moving. Truly moving. Yeah. Well done, every one of you. Well done. Well done. We are judged by how we look after each other. And indeed, we are our brothers and sisters' keepers. Well done, Aston. Keep up Forgive me, I don't need to say that to him. No. Just continue to express your love for your mother. Well done. You have my undying, unrelenting admiration and support. Praise be. Praise be. Wonderful, wonderful. And another of my guests, and I know you will recognize this guest, because what she exemplifies when it comes to womanhood, it's a dedication of a husband and wife. That dedication. Dedication. Lolo Ukechi Kono, the wife, Amansi Nnamdi Kanu, the man that was illegally taken from one country, illegally transferred to Nigeria, and then they went on to have a trial of sorts and found him guilty. Can you believe that? Gosh. President, let me not call the name. I don't need to call the name. Yeah. I want to give praise and respect to the people of Biafra. Praise and respect. Indigenous people of Biafra. And indeed, Ninas as well. Yes, I'm going to call out Ninas as well. Both organizations have a common aim and common purpose, representing the people with a devoutness that we could but admire. They are the symptoms of external carving up of the continent of Africa. Creating artificial borders, creating artificial countries, such as Nigeria. Not respecting the land that the peoples were traditionally ruled over. And that's why we have the situation in Nigeria and the neighboring countries and the compromises we've had to make. But in fact, reparations begins with self-repair. We correct the harm caused to us in the past. We take responsibility, take control of that repair. And that inevitably means that the borders that we currently see on the continent are reframed to reflect the traditional borders that reflect the people's land, so that we can regain respect and appreciation of each other. Because for thousands of years that you will see here in our interview coming up in 25 minutes' time, these people have lived together alongside each other for thousands of years, mostly in peace. Yeah. Reparations begin with self. I want to give appreciations to the indigenous people of Biafra. I want to give a special thank you to the wife of Nazi Nnamdi Kanu. Her name, of course. I know I'm not going to say it as well, but you know my intent. Lulu. And she made it clear what that meaning is. Ukechi Iguachu Kanu. A tremendous human being. Respect to you, ma'am. Respect to you. And we look forward to your great works continuing. Creating unity where there's discord. Creating love where there's misunderstanding and so-called hate. Where you raised intelligent levels, where others are forcing it down. You raised intelligent levels, our cognitive levels. Praise be. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to you in the future. Praise Jah, Rastafari. Oh yes, what a tremendous human being. A tremendous human being she is. You notice in that interview, I was sweating. She talked about the sun, and I was sweating before she talked about the sun. That was That was spiritual. You watch that particular episode of the Motivated Show, you'll see I'm sweating. Yeah. And she talked about herself. The ray of sun, the ray of hope. Oh my gosh. I responded to that. Subconsciously, forgive me, spiritually, I responded to it. It was outstanding, a truly moving experience. And he's such a lucky man to have a wife of that devotion, deep love, understanding, compassion. Oh, there you go, sir. If you're watching this, I'm putting a thumbs up to her. Yeah, I have no choice in the matter. I have no choice. Thumbs up. Huh? Thumbs up. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. I want to give one more recognition, if I may, before I move forward. Okay. I do want to recognize the episode in which I was able to refer to the recent bombing in Nigeria, but relate that to what happened in Venezuela. Mhm. And remember the Battle of Adwa, which happened, of course, in Ethiopia, where the Ethiopians were able to resist and push back European incursion into the land, which has resulted in Ethiopia being one of only two countries on the continent not colonized. A people with a deep religious, spiritual history. The Ethiopian Bible is renowned around the world for being untainted, to be the largest collection of early works of the Bible there is. They are an outstanding people, the people of Ethiopia. Absolutely outstanding. And soon, of course, their religious celebrations will come into full swing in the next month. More details will follow. We need to get an Ethiopian, an inspired Ethiopian here on the Motivated Show. The Battle of Adwa, we studied that battle, understand its significance, and from which you will all gain pride and understanding what is possible just using your genius. Praise Jah. Yes, Rastafari. Honor and respect to all Ethiopians. Honor and respect to His Imperial Majesty, the First, Haile Selassie. Yeah. Honor and respect. And to all Rastamanda. Aye. Honor and respect. And to all members of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tahido Church. Respect. Honor and respect to you all. Well done. Well done. We'll come back to the Ethiopians another time, but absolutely we'll not forget them. Undefeated. Undefeated. Praise be. Yes, I said it loud. I said it loud. Well done. Well done. We're changing the paradigm here on the Motivator Show. We are changing the paradigm. Never give up. Determined, relentless, resourceful. Intelligence you can take it for granted. Inspired, absolutely. The Motivator Show, because this is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Alrighty. I now need to move to the next section of this podcast, which is one you will all understand and its significance. We spend just a few minutes on our lifestyle. Because what is noticeable to the Motivator Show is the level of illnesses that pervade the communities. Mm-hmm. Avoidable illnesses, and can be avoided through deliberate, conscious actions. We're concerned about the levels of obesity, fatness in the communities, and particularly amongst the women. The majority are heavier than the men. We are mammals. That is not normal. That goes against our nature. And of course, has consequences for our health and well-being. We are concerned about levels of diabetes in the communities, particularly amongst the African-related communities, whether from the Caribbean, the continent, the Americas, or other places. Levels of diabetes are way above norm for other ethnic groups. And we must talk about it. We must be conscious of what we're doing to ourselves. The overconsumption of sugar, creating what they call insulin resistance. In other words, we no longer process sugar with the use of insulin because we become numb to it. And therefore, sugar level rises. Diabetes, type 2 diabetes. We are equally concerned by the levels of hypertension, high blood pressure that pervade the communities. Typically, these are related to circulatory problems, blocked arteries, yeah, which is the result of what we eat and what we do or don't do in the main. Mhm. These are at worrying levels. Yes, here on the Motivator Show, we are, just for a few minutes, going to discuss them to highlight our concerns. So you are aware that there's a collective concern, and we have a collective responsibility, therefore, to highlight and take proactive actions in order to mitigate these levels, because they are harming the communities. Mhm. They are definitely harming and reducing our overall health and well-being, and therefore our happiness. Far too many members of families I encounter are weighed down by at least one of those conditions. In fact, it's above 90% who are weighed down by one of those conditions. Above 90% have one of those conditions. Yes, the motivator will discuss it. I know for some of you, you want to be in denial and you want to turn away, and I apologize for that. I'm sorry for that. I am truly sorry. But I hope you find the courage to be with us so that the information we're about to share, you will appreciate it being shared in love and understanding, empathy, and a desire to see change. Remember, you are not alone. Do not suffer alone. That's what we say here at the Motivator Show. There are many of us who've devoted their life to health and well-being, understanding the clinical processes, yeah? Understanding pharmacology, understanding human psychology, and indeed our spiritual wellness. And such people we should honour and respect. The Public Health Director for London here in Britain, okay, I want you to listen to his words, not my words. I'm just a simple Bob from across the sea. Huh? Listen to his words. Listen to what he says on these subjects. It's not difficult. His advice actually is not difficult, but we need to incorporate his advice as part of our consciousness, our everyday life. That's the challenge for us. Why, at the Motivator Show, we raise the issue for you. Our health and well-being is of utmost importance. There is no higher wealth than our health. I say again, there's no higher wealth than our health. You could have 1,000 tons of gold, but if you're weighed down with obesity, diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, you know, regardless of how much gold you have, your health means that you're not enjoying all this supposed wealth. Your health is your highest wealth. So listen to the common sense advice from this professor of public health. Listen to his words.
Professor Kevin Fenton says, I'm a public health director. Here are 5 things you can do to improve your health. 1. Mindful and balanced eating. Nourish wisely. Eat whole, balanced meals with awareness to support energy and well-being. 2. Get outside. Be with nature. Time outside reduces stress, improves mood, and strengthens your connection to the world. 3. Stay curious, stay engaged, explore new interests, keep your mind sharp, build social contacts, and boost your happiness. 4. Get active, move it or lose it. Move daily, lift weight, and do cardio. Exercise, improve physical, mental, mood, and energy. 5. Prioritize rest and sleep. Disconnect. Rest. Quality sleep supports mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall health.
And I think you would agree with me. That's straightforward advice from the professor who devoted his life to our health and well-being. Okay, if you are able to follow that advice from Professor Fenton, okay, I'm 99.9999% certain that you will experience a much more fulfilling physical, mental, and spiritual health. Simple advice, but we need to follow it. Huh? We play that video in each of our live transmissions to remind us all what we could do to take control of our health and well-being. But what I'm heartened by, the numbers of you who've heard these messages, who've come together in common aim and common purpose, understanding, working together on our health and well-being is more than likely to transform the success of us being the best of ourselves in respect of our health and well-being. And in doing so, you become even more human, become even more sane. The likelihood is you become happier as well because you're collaborating with others to a common aim and common purpose. We all have a health concern. We all want to maintain good quality lifestyles, good quality health. That's what we need. If in doubt, ask questions. Not what we say to you all. If in doubt, ask questions. And I know for some, this advice is difficult. I get it. And so you may want to just turn off and say, no, I don't want to get involved in that. I get it. And I know that's happened a few thousand times. But I'm heartened by the numbers of letters, emails we've received of encouragement that we should continue to spend just a few minutes on lifestyle messages. What I want to play for you now, an example of people who've come together in common aim and common purpose, who've understood these messages, has understood they work together on their health and staying fit, being conscious of what they eat, thinking about their mental health, their intellectual health, working together to ensure we can uphold this health, which is much broader spectrum of needs and wants that we need as human beings to function well, that you can and will be successful. Because working together allows you to, share sometimes the burden, the challenge of just keeping fit. And I get it. I want to watch this group of people who've come together in common aim and common purpose. Now, please, I don't want you to simply to sit there and watch. I want you to participate. Yeah, participate. Just move your arms, move your leg. Just participate. It's only for 2 minutes. It could make all the difference. Here we go. That's it. If you're not sitting down, that's it. Let's bend our legs. Oh yes. Now bend your legs. That's right. Oh yes. That's right. Oh yes, that's it. Put your arms up now. That's it. Put your arms up. You can sit. That's right. Oh yes. There you go. Just for a minute or so. There you go. Oh, well done, Ishmael. Well done, Ishmael. There you are. Look at that. Put your arms up again. There you are. Yes, it. We can make all the difference here. It's only for a minute. There you go. There you go. Oh yes. See them? They're big and they're small. Yeah, they're slim and they're wide. But they're all together. Work together in common aim. A common purpose. Understanding we work together, we can all stay healthy together. Oh yes, there she goes. She's smiling at us. That's right. Oh yes, there you go. Whoa, there you are. That's it. Put your arms up now. That's right. Open the just sit in there. Okay, that's right. And together, we can transform our health. That's it. Work together. That's right. Push it up now. Hey, that's it. Oh, I can feel it. Oh. Hey, I'm Ben Cunningham. Hope you're doing this as well. Yes. Oh, yes. I've called your name now. I called your name. Ben Cunningham. Ah. Oh, yes. Ishmael, I've called your name. Oh, yes. Oh, Michelle, I called your name. There you are. That's right. DJ Little, I called your name. That's right. And together, working together, we can become fitter, healthier, live longer, healthier lives. That's right. There you are, another 15 seconds now, another 15 seconds. There you are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'll pause there. Was that worthwhile? There's a few minutes, only a handful of minutes, or 2-3 minutes. A bit of exercise, it makes all the difference. The whole purpose and motto of these podcasts, where we translate words into action, because success is ours for the taking. That's it in action. Exercising, thinking about what you're eating, getting enough sleep, fully hydrated, makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. And if in doubt, we say again, if in doubt, ask questions. Go to your doctor, go to your nutritionist, go to your personal trainer and obtain the advice. That's all we ask you to do. And I hope these messages find you well. Look, if you're in South London and you want to meet that group who we just featured a moment ago, let me just say to you, they meet every Monday and Wednesday. And in London, in South London, you want to come down and meet them. You're visiting the country for the very first time. Come and meet them. Exercise for an hour. Enjoy it. It'll be a truly enjoyable experience. You see them, they're very hospitable people. Very hospitable. There you are. They're called Countdown Health and Wellbeing. They meet every Monday and Wednesday between 6:30 and 8 p.m. They meet at 12 Tatum Street, Tatum Street. That's in London. And postcode S for Sugar, E17, 1T for Togo, N for Nigeria. The email address we should reach out to them is countdown0405@gmail.com. And if you're in the UK, the mobile number, you can speak to them directly. It's 07960 803 588. I commend the work of Countdown to you all and many others across Britain and beyond. Well done to you all. The people's coming together in common aim and common purpose, understanding that your health is indeed your highest wealth. Keep up the good work, each one of you. And those of you who've heard these messages, thank you for responding positively. Thank you. Just keep it up. Keep it up. That's all we ask you to do. Consistency is what matters. These flash in the pans, if you want to go fast, do it by yourself, not a problem. But if you want to go far and sustained, we do it together because each of us uplift each other. That's how community works. That's how civilizations and why civilizations are successful, because we each of us are uplifting each other. There you go. All right, Chief. So that's the lifestyle section, and I hope you can appreciate why in each of our live broadcasts there's a lifestyle section devoted to you, just to you. If I say at this point, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we urge you to do so. Let me put it on the screen. Oh, let me find it for you. We urge you to do so. And, I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't. But if you haven't, that's fair enough. But don't leave without either giving us a thumbs up like this, or leaving a comment. Okay, that would be truly appreciated. That would be truly appreciated. So in that way, you tell the YouTube algorithm that the content that we're supplying is worthwhile and it's worth recommending to others across YouTube. There you are. So there you are. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. It really just helped out this channel and help us to extend our coverage. The word goes out to a much wider audience, and we appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you. I now need to go on to 2 or 3 other subjects before we go to our main interview, and these are really important campaigning issues. Many of you will be aware of those horrific storms that impacted the Caribbean islands in 2 successive years. In 2024, there was Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4 hurricane. It was unusual because it appeared so early in the hurricane season. Normally, the hurricane season, there's a build-up to a significant hurricane. But this one occurred right at the very beginning of the hurricane season. It was devastating, caused floods, destruction, and indeed death across the islands of Jamaica, Haiti, Grenada. In 2025, Hurricane Melissa impacted primarily the islands of Jamaica and Haiti. Jamaica certainly was devastated. Even today, there are whole communities who are displaced or living under tarpaulins, temporary housing. The economies have been destroyed, whole villages wiped away, and a significant amount of death has occurred. And they've yet to recover, despite the tens of millions of aid that are earmarked for the country. There are still communities who have not yet seen the relief. Public buildings, such as schools and hospitals, which still remain significantly damaged. One such school we want to bring to your attention. In Jamaica, they're called basic schools for very young children. The roof was taken off, destroyed equipment. Fortunately, there were no lives lost, but it's caused significant disruption. Here on the Motivator Show, we want to give light to these issues so we do not forget the devastation caused by these unusually intense hurricanes. Hurricane Melissa was a Category 5 hurricane. What's so unusual about that is that wind intensity of 185 miles an hour. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Oh my God, more than 200 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine being exposed to wind of that intensity? I want to play for you an appeal by a head teacher, a principal of a school in Jamaica, appealing for help to restore the school to what it was prior to Melissa. If not restore it, to make it better than it was before, more wind resistance would be appreciated. I want you to watch this appeal, and the people of the PNP UK who are supporting this appeal. I want you to watch, listen, and simply open your hearts. Here we go.
PNP UK Hurricane Melissa Disaster Relief Fund appeal. Out of many, one people.
Good morning, students.
Say good morning, parents.
Good morning, students.
Today is what month are we in?
We are in the month of January.
Everyone, I am Lexia Lewis Hines, principal of the New Building Early Childhood Institution in New Building, Nain, St. Elizabeth. We were adversely affected by the passing of Hurricane Melissa on October 28, 2025. And as such, we lost our school roof, we have lost furniture, books, and other learning materials for our young ones. I am hereby making a plea asking for any contribution that can be given to assist us in further renovating our school building so that our students can return to some semblance of normalcy. We have already received some donations and we're able to cover half the roof. The other half is patched up with the old zinc that was there from before. And as such, any contribution is an investment in our young ones, the future generation. And so this is my plea, asking for any contribution that can be given in assisting us to be better able to facilitate our young students. Thank you so very much.
New Building Early Childhood School, New Buildings District, Nain, St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. On behalf of PNP UK, we hope you would agree that this school needs to be rebuilt so that the children can enjoy the teaching and learning experience. Support the Hurricane Melissa Disaster Relief Fund to build back better the school. Send your donation, whatever you can afford, to PNP UK. That's at NatWest Bank, sort code 600802, account number 298612333. And in the bank reference, please quote DRF Melissa. Thank you for considering. Thank you for your donations.
Tremendous people, huh? Tremendous. Keep up the work. Good work, PNP UK. We here on The Motivator Show will continue to magnify your compassion, your not forgetting that this hurricane affected tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people across the island of Jamaica and Tahiti. And indeed, we've not forgotten that that work is still to be completed. That school is still in a dilapidated condition. Children are still being taught in a partially covered building. Oh my dear, oh my dear. They are relying upon us to find the investment so we can build back better. That building will be better than it was before, will wind resistance, so the children will not have to suffer as a result of adults' poor decisions, which is those poor decisions that have gone on for not decades, but for centuries. We can and we must do better as a species. If you can give, it would be fantastic. You can replay the recording so you have all the details on screen. If in doubt, ask questions. Okay. But I'm very conscious, though, that here in Britain, very large African communities, communities who've been here for generations, who have devoted the best years of their lives to building Britain. Britain is a wealthy country and often shares its wealth with those in greatest needs. Okay. In Ukraine, we did so, quite rightly so, quite rightly so. But there has been some cause for concern about Britain's contribution in support of Jamaica in its time of greatest needs. I want to play for you a short video by a community activist, a leader here in London. His name is Lee Jasper. I want you to listen to his word, to his thoughts on this subject, and what we can all do to contribute to changing this situation, and hopefully persuading the government to give more in support of Jamaica. Listen to his words.
Hey family, my name's Lee Jasper. I'm a veteran activist here from London, England. And I just want to talk about Hurricane Melissa and the British government and the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's response to that hurricane. Family, look, Jamaica and areas of the Caribbean are on its knees. People are desperate, homeless, unable to access medical supplies and treatment. Children are left homeless because their grandmother's house has been completely obliterated. People are unable to go to school. People have no valid forms of employment. And all Britain can offer is £7 million. I mean, it's a disgusting insult to the Jamaican community. And we should be very clear in terms of what our response should be. I'm not sure what we're supposed to say, but thank you to Keir Starmer for 7 million change. I could find more change down the back of this sofa than Starmer seems to have found for Jamaica. And just imagine, people, we spent 20 billion on war for the Ukrainians, 20 billion. And we opened our doors, as we should have done, to victims of war who needed a safe evacuation. But we have exactly the same scenario with people in Jamaica and other areas of the Caribbean, whereby they're homeless, they've got no form of valid long-term employment, they're living on emergency package. Those of us who are in the United Kingdom, who have relatives throughout the Caribbean, should be able to relax our humanitarian visa laws and bring them here so they can have quiet convalescence and respite, care and attention from their families here in the United Kingdom, whilst Jamaica is rebuilding and they can return after that. So we're calling for two things, family, and need your 100% support on this, because once all the Christmas and the emergency stuff has died away, Jamaica is still going to be in a problem, and probably even a bigger problem if the rumoured health outbreaks and epidemics break out as a consequence of lack of sanitation and clean water. And so I'm calling on you to support our petition. You might be able to see the QR code there if I just move to the side. Here is the QR code. Hope it's visible. If not, maybe I can make it more visible. Here is the QR code. All you have to do is put that into your phone and sign the petition. We also have a done one meeting in Brixton. We're doing another in Tottenham Hale, and we're having another hurricane emergency meeting in Wales, Manchester, as well as Preston. And why are we doing this, family? Because we think we need a national lobby of Parliament on Prime Minister's Question Time to take 5,000, 6,000 of us to Parliament to press the Prime Minister and your individual MP to increase aid to Jamaica, as Dawn Butler's already written in The Guardian to that effect, and we're fully supportive and behind that. To talk to your Prime Minister and MP and lobby them to relax the visa control. How is it that an 8-year-old child whose parents live in the United Kingdom and who was living with her grandmother in Jamaica is denied visa entry on humanitarian grounds to the United Kingdom? But that's what the latest stories we're seeing coming out of The Guardian and other news outlets. So we need a national lobby. Give Jamaica much more aid. 7 million, make that 50 million. How about that? How we make it 50 million pounds next year that the UK government gives to Jamaica to recover? Humanitarian visa restriction? Yes, so that we can give people respite. Because our family, they're our community. And we're here suffering the anxiety of not knowing we can help, but we can't get them into the country. So I'd ask you to support our call on the Prime Minister to increase aid and relax visa applications. And finally, family, this is going to happen every year with increasing intensity. So Britain and the West, as the major polluters, must pay. They must pay recompense for climate justice in those countries, or else otherwise, 2 hurricanes of Melissa's size in over a period of 18 months, as we saw with Beryl and Melissa, would just leave the island completely unsustainable and devastated. Britain must pay more. Britain owes more. Jamaica helped build this country, and they're giving us 7 million. When I take it. And I'm asking you to organise mobilising meetings in your local community area so we can take thousands of our community in the new year to the Houses of Parliament to lobby on behalf of our people who are struggling in Jamaica. Thank you. Scan the QR code if you didn't do so already. There it is. And share the video. Peace.
Well done, Lee. Well done. Well done. We'll keep and continue to highlight your words. Thank you for your commitment to the people. Thank you. We need to get him back in the studio. The further discussion about parallel issues we want to discuss. But Lee Diaspora is an example of a Jamaican man with a focus and dedication, relentlessness that I can assure you makes him the best of humanity. His compassion, his big heart is what makes him the very best of humanity. Keep up the good work, Lee. Keep up the good works. We here at the Motivator Show are with you always. Praise Jah, Rastafari. It's now time for us to focus on the theme for today's episode, today's podcast, which is, of course, the High Council of the Burkinabés here in Britain. The High Council, what a name, huh? We spoke to the president of the High Council of the Burkinabés here overseas and abroad, here in the UK. And he was truly an inspired human being. Okay. I avoided the politics and focused on the person, the people. And of course, their relevance, their impact on the world. The people of Burkina Faso have impacted the peoples of the world. They provided a new verb, a new yes, as it were, a new energy, absolute hope for the future. Their inspired president, His Excellency, President Ibrahim Traoré, inspires us all. He inspires us because he's relentless and totally committed. He demonstrates that so. Many have tried to silence him. He's well prepared. He's well adjusted to the environment we're in. Africa has suffered a truly hostile environment for more than a few centuries now. Oh, yeah. But he's totally and completely adjusted and ready for all comers, as are the up-and-coming leaders across the continent. And there are a number of quite resolute leaders on the continent right now who we hope to have here in the Motivated Show at some point in 2026. If in doubt, ask questions. But what follows is an interview with the presidents of what is the High Council of the Burkinabés, in other words, people of Burkina Faso abroad. represented here in Britain, United Kingdom. He is a quite remarkable human being. I'm sure once you watch this interaction, this dialogue here on the Motivator Show, you will understand why we say this. Remember, the motto of the show is always, we translate our words into action because success is indeed ours for the taking. Watch this. You be truly inspired. Listen, watch. If you've got pen and paper or some digital notepad, be ready to take notes, okay? This is the live interview. The follow-on podcast series will contain even more information that will be truly inspirational. I'm assuring you, you'll be blown off out of your socks. Yeah. The power of God is now about to speak. You listen. You understand what I mean by that in a few moments' time as well. The power of God. Wow. Yeah, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm only thinking about the experience I've had and the healing that came from that experience. I now want you to share in the healing. It's the motivator here. This is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Hey, people, I've got another inspirational interview with you from a man from that country that we all admire, Burkina Faso. Yep. That's the poster card for Africa, huh? Hey, I'm saying so. It's going to be, look, if Africa was like Burkina Faso, with its inspired leadership, its inspired people, the land of the upright people, Africa would be transformed. Oh yeah. And I've got an excellent representative of the people here today, and someone you've seen before here on the Motivator Show. But as is my custom, I'm going to invite him just to say his name, the organization, indeed people represents, and I will ask him to say a little bit about is the the best word to use is clan, the tribe, the community that it comes from Burkina Faso. So over to you, sir. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, yes. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. So my name is Wenpanga Compaore. Yes, I'm from Burkina Faso. So I live in England, yes. So I am the president of High Council of Burkina based abroad. So in French, it's called Haut Conseil de Burkinabé. Yes, so I represent all the Burkinabés here since 2025, since last year in Feb. So I've been voted in here by the majority of Burkinabés, so to represent them on the High Council of Burkinabe abroad. So what is the High Council of Burkinabe abroad?
Please tell us. Yes, tell us. Yes.
Yes, it is. It is a council put in place by Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore when he came to power to promote the diaspora and invite them to contribute to the development of the country. So the High Council. So we are a branch of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I'm representing the Burkinabés here. I'm representing the embassy here. I'm representing the ministry here. So to promote Burkina Faso, and then inside, the Afro descendant, the diaspora, to get involved in the development of Africa, in particular Burkina Faso as well.
So just to be clear then, so the High Council of Burkina Faso abroad is a representative body here in the UK to which you've been elected president. But is there not a embassy here for that purpose? Just so I'm clear, here in Britain?
Well, there is no embassy here. So
right, okay.
Yeah, there is no embassy here. So, but the only embassy close to us is the embassy in Belgium. So
right.
since there is no embassy here, so we need a representative here, people to represent the country here. So that's where the High Council has been created. So the captain have seen that instead of going on every country to create new embassy, so he decided that the community should command themselves and then represent the country. So in his new strategy of reducing expenses, government expenses, so he decided that instead of creating embassies everywhere, so the community should command themselves or organize themselves and represent themselves. So that's where we come from. So that's where the High Council of Burkina Faso abroad come from.
So
I
understand now. Yes.
Representing the embassy and representing His Excellencies here.
So you're representing
for the
His
liberation of
Excellency.
Africa.
Oh, well done, well done. There's no argument here for us. That's not much I can tell you. Can I just for absolute clarity to help those who are watching, and thank you for what you described. Okay, so you used the word diaspora. You of course mean Burkinabe's diaspora here in Britain, as opposed to the wider historic diaspora that people like myself represent. Am I right? That's right.
But it's not only the Burkina Faso. When they say diaspora, so as the captain said, the captain always said that all Africans of any background, either you are from Burkina Faso, you are from the east, you are from the west, his calling is addressed to you. So when they say mobilizing the diaspora, so it's not only the Burkina Faso diaspora, but anybody that see that Burkina Faso could be his land, Burkina Faso could be his home. Anybody who see Burkina Faso, what is happening in Burkina Faso, the change, the revolution that is happening in Burkina Faso, and feel like he belongs there. So yes, you are who I am talking to. You are the one the captain is talking to. You are the one the people in Burkina Faso are calling. So it's not about Burkina Faso or no. It's all of you. Either you are from Ghana, you are from Jamaica, as long as you feel like you're African. So you think that you're African. So you are totally welcome to get involved in this struggle. So I won't call it fight for now, but to struggle to African liberation.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, I'm encouraged. I'm inspired by those words. Thank you for saying that. And I know that as you describe the council, you say it's acts as a sort of formal interface between the government and the Burkina Faso, facilitating communication, consultation, and participation of the diaspora in national policy discussion and development initiatives. Okay, but what sort of policy discussions of the Burkina Faso here in Britain been involved in relation to Burkina Faso? What sort of policy discussion do you think?
Oh yes, what sort of policy? We've been involved in different policy, from politics to healthcare to the new revolutions, the progressive revolutions. We've always been involved. So any decree, any law that is going to be discussed in Burkina Faso, we get informed about it, and our opinions is already taken into account. So particularly the recent change of the recent change of the way that we are fighting, or we are struggling against the security system. We've been invited. Recently again for the construction of the new autoroute. We've been invited to find engineers within our communities, people that can represent, people that know about building, people that know about construction, people that know about autoroute. So to get involved with. So we've been invited, for example, to make a list of all of the engineers that are ready to come and help to construct. So that's our work now we're doing. So if you're an engineer there, and then you know that you can give your plus to to the revolution, so you are welcome. So in anything that we discuss, we are always involved. So it's not like they're waiting for us to bring only ideas. No, it's on both sides, from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top as well. So if we have some queries or any concern as well, we always rely upon to them. Yes.
Good. So in other words, you have the direct ear of the government to all of your opinion, ideas for progression. Fantastic. Yes. I'm excited by that. Oh my dear. I'm from Jamaica. And whilst there is some level of interaction, not to the degree to which you're describing. That is forward thinking. Well done. Yeah. Well done. But let me just ask a question about you, though. Okay, because I've learned here to ask questions about names and places. Okay, so in case of your name, you said Wenpanga Kompere. Okay, now, so what is the origin of that name? What people do you come from in Burkina Faso, clan or tribe that you come from? Please tell us.
Oh, yes. My name is Wenpanga Kompere. So, in Africa, and mainly in Burkina Faso, so when you are born, they give you 2 or 3 names. So the first name, for example, they give you will be a meaningful or something that is reflect a story of them. So on my case, so my name, so I've always asked them why they give me that name. So it's Wen means God and Panga means power. So it means that my name is the power of God.
Wow.
So the power of God. So I was like, so the power of God. So and then Compaore. So the Compaore as well, it have a meaning. That's the family name. So the family name is Compaore. It's like it will never lack. You will never lack of, you will never lack of good things. You will never lack of, so the Compaore is never lack. So, but that comes from the fact that those Compaore, we are Moses, so in the one of the biggest tribes in Burkina, Moses, and then we are mainly farmers. So we are mainly farmers. So the Compaore, you can see them in the central, in Burkina Faso, central, at the center of Burkina Faso, and alongside the Volta River. So mostly farmers. So you will see farmers, Compaores in Zignare, that's the city name. You see farmers, Compaores in Kombisri. You see Compaores in Kabuda. You see Compaores in Garango. So it's they are mainly farmers. So and then we live alongside the river, the Volta River. So the Volta River is the upper Volta in Burkina Faso and the lower Volta in Ghana. So you can even see some Compaores in Ghana as well.
In Ghana as well. Okay.
Ghana, alongside, yes.
Right. So you said you're Mosi. I believe that's the largest ethnic group or tribe in the country. Is that right?
Yes. The Compaore. Yes. The Mosi is the largest. The Mosi are the largest ethnic group. Okay. Yes. So after the Mosi, you have the Fulanis, and then you have the Diulas. So and you have the Senufo. So we have a lot of tribes. So, but the Mosi are the largest one. Yeah.
Okay. And that being the largest, I know I've got to be careful here because I recall when we last spoke about this, there was some sensitivities. But the founding of the Burkina identity, Kwadoro. Okay. So is the Mosi directly descendant from the founder, or is it just simply the largest tribe within the country?
Oh yeah, the Mosi are directly linked to the larger tribe. So and then to the founder Ouedraogo. So Ouedraogo, yes.
Yes.
So yes. So the Ouedraogo, if you see most of the Mosi, they are grandchildren of Ouedraogos. They're grandchildren of Ouedraogo. So and then during that time, so princes, there will be some princes that will not have the power, and then those princes will go somewhere else and create their own villages, and that's how they spread and the names have changed. So for example, you see my family name is Compaore. So you will see some that are Zungrana. They're almost, there's some are Ouedraogo. So what does it mean? The family name at that time was the warrior name. So if, for example, a prince did not get the power and then he need to leave the village of his father, he will leave his village, and then he will give himself a warrior name.
Yes.
It's like, you understand, okay, yeah, my warrior name is that, it will never lack. You understand? That's where Compare come. So you will see some of them like Kabore. You understand? Okay.
Yes.
And then you will see some, the name will be like Sawadgo. It's like, you understand? So they're giving themselves own, warrior name. That's why. So we are all Moses. And then we come from Wedraugo. We come from Wedraugo.
So and it was important for you to explain this, you see, because you noticed the way and manner in which you describe your lineage.
Yes.
What I notice, and see, I'm from the diaspora, 250 million of us, for hundreds of years now. And we look back and we observe, you raise your head, your chin went up like this, with pride. Yep.
Yes.
You know, that pride. You were relating your history. Yep. Yes. With pride, your culture, with pride. Oh, yeah. That's why I've got to appreciate the land of the upright people. Oh, my God.
Upright people, yes, definitely. Yes. We are upright people, yes. And so the land of the upright people. Yeah, definitely. So we have always been upright until, we've learned about democracy and then corruption step in. So it's after we lost Thomas Sankara that our uprightness was shaken a bit, but we got back Traore, who's just putting back our uprightness up again.
Yes.
So yes, we are the land of upright people. Yes.
Wonderful.
Hardworking people.
Hardworking, that's right. Yeah. And just for the benefit of the audience, the other peoples that make up the country, as you mentioned in passing, the Fulani, the Goma, the Bobo. Forgive my pronunciation. My studies, you see, is Gurunsi.
The Gurunsi. We have the Gurunsi, the Fulani, the Bobo, the Diula. You have how to call it. The Frafra, the Frafra. So, the Senifo, some of them, I will say they are dialect, Mosi dialect, you understand? So, with the time, when people are moving, their dialect change, depending on where they are. So, when you look at them, a lot of them are branches of Wedraugos.
Yes.
Their dialect have changed. It's like the accent. The accent have changed, and some of the time the accent have changed a lot. That like the Frafra and the Moses, they're the same. But when you listen to Frafra speaking, so the dialect have changed, and some of the words have changed. So and then they start to call themselves differently, but they're all linked. So if you take the Gurunsi as well, so we have two tribes of Gurunsi. So the Gurunsi of Po and the Gurunsi of Kudugu. So they are all the same people, but because they migrated a bit
over
so
time,
the dialect have changed. So the Bobos are those like I will say the Diulas, the Diulas. So the Diulas, those tribes are mainly Malians. They're Mali, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Senegal, and Burkina Faso. So it's one of the biggest tribes as well in West Africa, the Diulas.
Yes, it is.
So the Diulas, they come all the way from Timbuktu, and then they include the Dogons. They include the Dogons. So we have a lot of Dogons as well in Burkina Faso. So it shows that Africa was one. It's those are like it's artificial borders. So if you look at it, you travel from Burkina Faso to Mali, there is no real border. There is no real border. A mountain or something like no. It's just artificial. It's in our mind. If not, it's the same people. It's the same people,
Well said, well said. So therefore, the European carving up of the continent has created these ideas of these borders. And of course, the Pan-Africanist dream is that there should be a borderless Africa. We recognize the land of the peoples, but it should be a borderless Africa. Well said, well said. And thank you. And that was an interesting lesson, an education for many of the 250 million diasporan Africans listening to you and your understanding of the people. And for the most part, they live in peace. Yes, they live in
they
peace.
live in peace for generations. They live in
for
peace
generations.
for centuries. So look at the Gurmache you are talking about. You said the Gurmache. So at the border of Benin, Togo, and Burkina Faso, those are Gurmaches. So those people, they've been living, the Gurmaches been living with the Morses. Even in Niger, there are Gurmaches. So they've been living in peace for a generation. They marry between themselves. So they have like what they call a link, a family link that they call a pleasantry. It's a joke link. So that link is between the tribe. That link allow them to joke about themselves. You understand? To play between each other. So if there is something that tribe is doing that is wrong, that you didn't like, you can use that link to play about it, to joke about it and say, what you're doing in a joke term. So instead of you fighting, so you use that link. They call it in French pleasantry link. So all of those tribes, they have those links. For example, you will see the Morses and the Samo have that link. So the Gurusis and the Bobo have that link. You will see the Yadse and the Gurumashi have that link. So all of them, they are linked with those kind of family link, making them, they can't fight. They say, no, there is no fight in them. So, but you can joke about problems.
That's right.
They were living peacefully for thousands of years.
Thousands of years. Yes. Can I just say to you that I've used AfricanAncestry.com, which allows particularly people like myself of the diaspora, a historical diaspora, to look at our genetic materials to see which peoples we come from. And is it interesting? The group seed what you just announced there is the community in Benin, apparently, as opposed to Burkina Faso, is where I'm, from a genetic point of view, I'm most closely related. Wow.
Oh, you see. No, when you say that, yes, when I look at you as well, you understand? When I look at people, even my daughter sometimes say that. So when I look at people, I can say, oh, he's Caribbean, but I know somebody back home that just looks identically like you.
Tell them, go and Pandey, tell them that the Caribbean needs to hear that. People in the Americas need to hear you say that you look just like my mum. Go ahead.
I can see somebody who look like exactly like you. It's like, but sometimes I think it's like, the gene is still there. The DNA is there. No matter what the DNA you take it through, it's gonna produce the same resemblance. So my neighbor here is from Caribbean. So sometimes I talk to him. I say, I know somebody back home. He's a Fulani, and then he just look like you. He look like you, and then he's like, no. So and then one day he said, no, you know what? I am going to go to do my DNA test and really know who I am coming from. So he did his DNA, and he told me that, oh, you know what? You're telling me that I look like a Fulani person. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. Yeah, when I've done my DNA, mostly I am Fulani. I said, how? I said, no, we live together for like ages. So when I look at you, I know somebody who is exactly like you. So it's not because we were born in America, or we were born in Canada, or we were born in the UK that make us not become Fulani or Gurmache or Gurusi again. No, being Gurusi is in your DNA.
That's
and you will pass it to your next generation and generation. Right. So that's your code given by God through your ancestry. But you understand, so I don't want to go too much into it, but from the creation, you understand? Yes. So that's your code. So and they can never delete it. Even the colonizers for 400 years, they take us into for 1 million years. That link is still there. And when you go home, you will feel it.
Yes.
You will feel it. Until you open your language, until you open your mouth and start speaking a language, and then they will say, oh, they will. You sit down, they will be there thinking, oh, yeah, this is our brother. And you are the brother. Yeah, you are. It's only the language that they took away from us, and then to try to recondition us. But if not, we are the same. We even think the same.
Yes.
You see, so yes, we are the same.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Wow, wasn't that a bit of a tour? My gosh, and I know that there are many watching this, and they'll be inspired by that, and will want to get their DNA review to identify the people from which they come from. Praise be. Thank you.
It is a good idea. Yeah, it reinforces your link with the community, and then it lets you know where you are from, and it's good, you know. So if you know where you come from, like Bob Marley said, we should know where we're coming from if we want to know where we are going. You understand? So we have to know that. We have to go back to our roots. You know, we have to go back to our roots, and then. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me go to my next question, because that was my first question, and that was powerful. Let me tell you, that was really powerful. Now, let me just say, first of all, the Motivator Show and indeed other independent researchers all agree that Burkina Faso is entering a new chapter, and across mining, agriculture, infrastructure, energy, digital services, and real estate. The country is opening pathways for those ready to build. For the diaspora investors like myself and others, this is more than simply, I have to tell you, a financial opportunity. It is ownership in Africa's future. It's this assessment that we've arrived at, that if we invest in ownership in Africa's future, an accurate assessment. Do you agree with that, or would you want to modify that statement?
Oh, yeah, it is the accurate assessment. So, let's talk about the change that is happening in Burkina Faso before we go there. Yes, so the change that is happening in Burkina Faso, they particularly call it a progressive revolution. So it's a step forward. It's a step forward for the mankind. It's a step forward for Africans to redesign their life, to redesign the way we've been perceived, and to develop ourselves. So it is now an opportunity for anybody that feel like, yes, Africa should be a step ahead. Africa should be up there to join So what you're saying, yes, it is an opportunity as well for anybody who think that he should have our own a little portion of Africa. You understand? So as Africans, we should have a portion of Africa. We should invest in Africa. I will tell you something.
Okay. Please.
If Africa is not free, Black people cannot be free. So how will we free Africa? So we will free Africa in making it become developed. Develop it infrastructure on his infrastructure. Develop it on his spiritual and intellectual level. Develop it in the term of health and wealth. So it is the right time, like you say, it is the right time for any diaspora, any African who think that progress should be made to step in and play the game of progressive revolution. And we have Captain Excellency Ibrahim Traoré, who is trying to put this, the path for us. So he's shown to be loyal to his community. He's shown to be loyal to African. So it is the right time. It is the right time now. It's now or never. It's now. We have to make it happen now or never, because what is happening now, in 10 years, in 20 years, oh no, Africa would be on another path, mainly particularly Burkina Faso will be in another path. So I will say that we can compare it to the Singapore 30 years ago. So 50 years ago. When we tell you to go to Singapore 50 years ago, people will be like, oh, no, I'm not going to go to the island of death. I'm not going to island of death. You see, nowadays, Singapore is the best
way up
in
there,
the world. It's the most developed country in the world. He's Captain Ibrahim is inspiring himself from the change of Africa, of Singapore. So it is the right time now to get in Africa, invest in land, invest in infrastructure, invest in engineering, invest in anything you are doing. You know, if you today, whatever you are doing abroad now, I wouldn't say pack it all and go back to Africa, but you can start to replicate that in Africa. You have to start to replicate whatever you're doing.
Okay, a question then. Can I just follow through that? And thank you. So, from a conceptual point of view, investing in Africa is to invest in ownership in Africa's future. That's the essence of the question. Okay.
Yeah.
But of course, there are quite mature people like myself, somewhat younger, and indeed those who are just starting out in their careers. Okay. I understand the words, and broadly speaking, we understand it. But all the peoples in the country agree with the captain position that we want to encourage diasporans like myself to see investment in Africa as being an ownership in Africa's future. Is there unanimous agreement, or there some contention? Because after all, you've lived there. We talked about your people.
The older people even are the most welcoming now. The older people have been waiting for this change for long. They've stopped out. The older people, they don't have long to go now. They want to see the change before they go. So I would take the example of my dad, for example. My dad would say that, the captain is his son. It's his first son. I said, no, well, I would say he's younger than me. No, he's the first son. I said, no, what he's doing, they love what he's doing.
Yes.
You understand? Because they see the change. They've been waiting for that change. They've been oppressed. No, even the young people, we've been oppressed, but the oldest people have been oppressed for longer.
True.
That they're looking for change.
Yes.
And they are welcoming. The oldest people, they are welcoming. Like long ago, when I say long ago, like 20 years ago, when you came to those, if you go to those older people as the diaspora, they don't sell you land. They give you land to live with them. They may be, okay, you have to do some rituals, give a kola nut there and there, you understand? So it shows that how welcoming they are, And Burkina Faso is a welcoming land. In our tribe, in our countries, they will always prioritize or welcome the newcomer. For example, if you have a visitor, the visitor have priority. So if you have a visitor, even there is no food at home for everybody, the visitor have to have something to eat. So Burkina Faso, the culture there is a welcoming culture. So we can say that it's because we are too welcoming in Africa that we had even those colonization. You understand? We are very welcoming, and that did not change because that's embedded in our DNAs. Because we are very welcoming, and then to see that. Some people used to ask me, I've heard that there are some Africans that are in Europe. They're born there. I said, yes. So I said, yes. So if people like that, they've heard it, and then they're happy, they'll be, we're happy, there is Africa everywhere. And then sometimes, they will tell me, I've heard that there are some black people in Asia. I said, yeah, there are black people. So what they feel is proud. You understand? I feel, as African, there is African in Asia, there are Africans in Europe, there are Africans in Africa. So to hear that those Africans in Europe, those Africans in America, those Africans in Asia are coming back to help them to build Africa, they feel like, you are the most welcome. You are the most welcome, So it's a matter of integration. It's a matter of integration. And integration is a progressive thing. It's a matter of integration, for example, in terms of languages, in terms of food, in terms of way of life. You understand? So that is my question will be that if you are ready to integrate, you are ready to change your way of life, you are ready to change the way you eat. You understand? So you will not feel any problem. You will not feel any problem. It's like, so yes,
I understand.
integration.
I understand. It's interesting as you describe this, of course. I suppose for us here in the diaspora, you're right that we should see an investment in Africa as part of the ownership of Africa's future. Okay, but the High Council here in Europe, and for which you are the president, do you have plans to put on events which allow diasporan Africans like myself to come meet you and discuss how we might contribute to the development of the country? Do you hold events or do you plan to in the coming weeks and months?
Yes, but we normally hold events, and then we have upcoming events that are coming. So because of the High Council being a new thing for us, so we don't have totally book a lot of infrastructure. But there is a web page that is coming very soon that will be launched. So, and then on that web page, you will see the different opportunity to invest, the different opportunity to buy land, the different opportunity to travel and visit Burkina Faso. So. But yeah, there'll be some event. There will be some event. I'm sure that I will be coming back again to you to promote those. But for now, what we are promoting mainly are those that they call APEC. So it is a way that been created by the captain to allow any African to invest in his mining. So it is so EPIC. So we do some consultation on it. If you are interested, so I will send some links later for you to have a look. So it allows you as an African anywhere to invest into the EPIC. So the EPIC is in French is called Entrepreneuriat Populaire. So it means that it's a popular, it's a community entrepreneurship. Community translated community entrepreneurship. It's where the community come together to invest into the agro-business. It's where the community come together to invest in the mining. It's where the community come together to invest in the infrastructure. You understand? So all of those are opportunity. It's government-backed opportunity that are here. But on top of that,
can I before you go down the line, I'm going to come back to the specific investment opportunities soon. But I wanted to, in this particular question, it's the concept, and how we in the diaspora should view this step. For the diaspora investors, it is more than simply a financial opportunity. It's the ownership in Africa's future. Okay, and it's so that part of the question, which is quite critical here, that how we think about it. This is not simply a place just to make money. What we are actually doing is contributing to that Pan-Africanist dream of united and empowered Africa. And therefore, we are taking a part of ownership in Africa's future. Okay. And it's that what I want to embed both in the minds of the audience. That is what that's the action. That's what the action is resulting in. We're investing in Africa's future. And what you're describing is that the people are open, willing, and waiting for us to do so. That would be right. I think that's right. And what you're describing, of course, is both the culture and tradition. And you said the older ones are definitely wanting to encourage diasporans to see themselves as Africans, remind themselves they're Africans, and wherever possible to engage in close partnership with local people. And for that, and that partnership to be a part of a broader vision to build Africa, so Africa becomes an economic superpower, akin to China, akin to India, akin to Russia, akin, of course, to Europe and United States of America. There you go. There you are. Thank you. That concept is what I wanted to embed in people's mind. And the captain, the president, is promoting that concept. Yeah, we are investing in the ownership of Africa's future. That's what we need. It's not about making money. It's about investing in Africa's future.
You are right. You are right. Yes, nowadays Africa needs everybody. So Africa, all of the Africans everywhere, spread all over Africa. So if you're coming back to Africa with your stone, or with, you understand, to build Africa.
The skills. Yes.
It's your skill, your stone, you understand, it is for the good of Africa and it's for the future of Africans.
Well said.
Yes. If Africa become a king to Europe, to a king to Asia, and we're supposed to be, because we have everything. We have everything. We have the minerals, we have the people. We didn't have the courage and the heart to have it. But we have a leader that is showing us how to do it. So it is the time for us to, everybody, wherever you are, to bring your stone. Wherever you are, to bring a little bit of sand wherever you are, to bring your cement, wherever you are, to bring skills to make Africa become what we wanted. So what we all longed for.
Yes.
So it is time for us to come back, starting from the revolution that is happening from Burkina Faso. If we all come together and then make Burkina Faso a Singapore in 10 years, a Singapore in 20 years. So the doubt in our heart will be removed. There will be no doubt because we've experienced it. We've seen it. Make Africa, make Burkina Faso or Mali or Niger become the Dubai.
That's right.
So we will see that, oh, yes, it is possible. Because now the people are doubting. Some people even ask me, how did he manage to become like that? I say, it's a stone at a time. It's a step at a time. As long as we don't do like a one step forward and two step backward, that's down to Babylon. But if you do one step, two step forward, one step backward, two step forward, one, that's, straight to the development, straight to Zion. So let's come together.
Thank you. Well, Banga, I have to tell you, boy, this is so good. I tell you, this is so good. This is so good. It's firing up. And therefore, the continent be the land of the upright people. The entire continent will become the land of the upright people. Praise be. Oh, yes. Let me go my next question for you, if I may. Let's ask my next question. Now, Burkina Faso is a sacred archive of African resistance, culture and pride. From the ancient rooms, and now forgive my pronunciation, Lopeli, thank you, to the roll calls of Tibeli, from the traditional mask and ceremony of the revolutionary legacy of Thomas Sankara. This land carries the spirit of determination. This is what I know, and this is what the spirit is communicating. Am I correct? If what I'm sensing through my spirit, is that correct? Is it the land of pride? Tell me. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, yes, you are correct. Yes. From resistance to colonization, to resistance to the progress of the desert, to resistance of jihad. So you understand. So I won't go too deep in that one. So because it's a sensitive subject. So yes, we can take for example the Naba Wobogo. It's one of the bigger resistance that created to the French advancement in the west coast of Africa. So
tell us more about that. Tell us more about that, because I've read on this one, but just tell us a bit more about that, because it'd be an education for many to understand what you mean by that particular resistance campaign. Go ahead.
So Naba Wobo is a king that stopped the advancement of the French colonization. So the Naba Wobo, but he called himself, Wobo means elephant. So, and then the meaning of his full name is like 100 phantoms cannot scare an elephant, because the elephant does not bother. But because that time he called those European phantoms because of the color skin and things. He said 100 phantom cannot scare an elephant. So that's what his name means. So Naba Wobogo is one of the bigger resistance in the West Africa. So thanks to him, we wouldn't say we were to colonize. The French were like, okay, they signed a treaty of protectorate. So what is a protectorate? It's a treaty. It doesn't mean that, okay, they've been conquered, but they say, okay, so we signed a treaty that, so if we, the French, we get attacked by another one, you're going to come and protect us. If somebody attack you too, we're going to, we're going to protect you. So he was the only one in the west coast of Africa that was able to force the French to sign that, because they tried to conquer him many times. So, and then he was a big resistance, and he's from Burkina Faso. So we have the princess. We had a bigger resistance again. Princess Jimbe Ouattara.
So, forgive me. Just say that name slowly, because there are many listing on every word you say. Just say slowly.
Yeah, Princess Jimbe Ouattara. Jimbe Ouattara, like a djembe. You know the djembe?
Yes.
Like a djembe Ouattara, yes. So Princess Jimbe Ouattara. Okay, so Jimbe Ouattara. So she was a princess who fought and liberate a lot of Africans from slavery and from colonization. She fought. She's from Bobo Dioula. So you see where Ibrahim Traore went to school, primary school. So she was from that coastal side. So she fought that side of the resistance against the French. So naturally, you can see that there were a lot of warriors, people that stand for themselves in the small land of Burkina Faso. And when you look at Burkina Faso as well, it's a landlocked country, it's a small country. But when you look at the history and the last recent history, we have the kind of people like Thomas Sankara that come from Burkina Faso. So we have the kind of people like His Excellency Captain Ibrahim that come from Burkina Faso. So we have the resistance of the French advancement, the resistance of the Islamic advancement. So if you look at if I had a map here, I will show you. So if you see, it's from Burkina Faso that the Islamization of of Africa stopped.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So it's the border of Benin, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. It's from the Dogon tribes. You know, it's from the Dogon tribe, the Mosi tribe. That from there going down now, they're not Islamics, but from up there going, they're Islams. You understand? So the Islamization stopped at the borders. So the market where the Islam's coming now is still in Burkina Faso. That market where they was coming, yes, that market is still there. But they stopped there because they couldn't advance. So if it wasn't for those fighters there, they would have advanced it to the coast up to Ghana. They would have advanced it to the coast up to deep Nigeria. They would have advanced it to the coast like Gabon. But the Islamization started from the north coming down. If you look at where the map you look at the Islam where you see. So Burkina Faso is a land of warriors. Before even becoming upright, so they're warriors. You understand? They're warriors. Oh no, they stand for themselves and very hardworking. So you take lands like Burkina Faso, like Ivory Coast. The biggest producer of cacao and coffee in Ivory Coast, they're from Burkina Faso.
Yes.
So Ghana, people was coming from Ghana to pick people from Burkina Faso to go to produce cacao and coffee for them. So when it comes to fighting or standing for themselves or working for their own dignities, you find that, yes, in Burkina Faso, you find them in their tribe. So, what you're saying is right. So it's a people land of uprightness, it's a land of warriors, and then a land of people with love. Because if a warrior, a true warrior is full of love because he knows he know the consequence of war.
Absolutely.
And so if there is no war, he portrays love. Yeah.
You carry the spirit of determination. Yeah, that's what it is.
Determination. Yes.
Yes. There you go. Yep. Self-determination. And more importantly, is that it comes across as you describe it. Yes. Let me tell you, as you describe it, you carry that spirit of self-determination. You're culturally centered, strong history. You know your history. You're clear. You know what needs to be achieved. You know it will take hard work. Yep, and you are determined. Absolutely. That I can buy into. I'm like a magnet. I'm attracted to that. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
No, definitely. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing that spirit of self-determination. Okay. And you mentioned names of Africans, our ancestors, who resisted and upheld culture and tradition, the people's identity. But over here in the West and in the wider diaspora, knowledge of their names has been lost. So you've now bridged that information gap, and I'm assuring you we will talk more about this another time, about those famous important contributors to resisting colonialist intrusion into the land to such an extent that they would take over and completely change your cultural and traditional direction. You've maintained your culturalness. You've not forgotten your history. And the manner in which you relate that to us, why, me, I just hold my head up high. The power of God. You hear your name, the power of God. Yes, it's coming true. It is coming true. Praise be. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. You make us all proud. Let me tell you, you make us all proud. The president of the High Council of the Cannabis Abroad here in the UK speaking directly to the Motivators Show. Oh, yeah. Praise Joe Rastafari. Let me ask another question of you.
Yes.
Burkina Faso offers more than tourism, of course. It offers belonging. The markets are alive with culture, music that speaks without translation. The community still knows how to welcome strangers as family. Again, I want you to share with my audience the vibrancy of Burkina Faso's street market and what makes them so special. I've read so much about your street market and the power of those street markets. Tell us more about the street market. I love street market myself. I love go on, tell us more.
We have a lot of street market because usually market, every village have a market. Yes, and the market is every 3 days. But, with progress, a lot of market become every day. So on the market, every 3 days, everybody have to bring something to showcase and sell. Yes. So that's where you can find a lot of arts, different type of food. You can find different type of product. You understand? So, but mainly handcrafted. So mostly handcrafted. Nowadays, you understand, with importation, yes. But initially, it was well-known handcrafted materials that were sold on those markets. So, and the markets are vibrant because, so on those markets that are still always 3 days, every 3 days, because the market is open every 3 days. So on the day of the market, people tend to come out a lot. And it's a chance for people who want to enjoy themselves, who want to have fun. And so a lot of different type of food just coming, a lot of different type of materials, art, cosmetics, garments. And then, we have a lot of garment recently that has been inspired by Thomas Sankara. So where he said that we have to consume what we produce. And that idea did die. So that idea was still, you build that in the market. So if you are somebody who loves African art, and then when you go to those markets, you can see that, oh yes, there is a proper typical, art that is, being displayed. So you are somebody who like food, but when I say food, yes, some local food, local tasting food. If you like that, you will see it. So if you're somebody who like a local medicine, they call it pharmacopoeia. So it's a pharmacopoeia. So it's you like to, healthy living. You want to try the healthy living way because that's how they cure themselves. It's in the market. People come and sell those. So you can find those where people come and sell like a pharmacopoeia. It's a natural medicines. Natural medication. And some of them, even it's not like it's for a disease or something. It's just for your well-being. It's to give you strength. Those kind of medications that they do sell them there. It's on the day of the market. So if you take, for example, Zorgo, is the city I would like to invite you and me to go one of these days to discover. Yes. If you go to market, Zorgo market is every 3 days. So it's still every 3 days. So if you go on the day of the market, so you will see that those farmers are bringing cows, they're bringing chicken, they're bringing goats, everything to sell at that day.
Yes.
So those pharmacopoeia people, they will be bringing as well. So those who do the local drinks as well, they will bring for those who drink, you can have a local beer, so to drink, and the local food. So the day of the market is really good. The day of the market, you feel the vibration in town. You feel, oh yeah, today is the day of market. Hey, yeah, you going? So from this time, people, the market started to be vibrant, and when you go to the market, to the villages market at this time, you feel like people are happy. It's the day where people commit to themselves. It's the day where you normally drink alcohol.
That's right.
It was controlled. The village, they didn't want to produce alcohol every day, so you are not allowed to sell alcohol if it's not on the day of the market. On the day of the market, those who want to have a drink, it's a chance for them to have a proper drink, and then you enjoy yourself after night, and then you wait again for the next 3 days, because the alcohol is brewed. When you brew it, they brew them. It takes 2 days for the local brew. So those 2 days, tomorrow, then if today is the market, well, you finish selling, tomorrow you start brewing. By the time it's ready, it's the next day of the market. So you feel the vibration in the market, you understand? So now people don't drink a lot, but before people like to drink that, local drinks, and then and then you understand. So pharmacopoeias will be selling the things here. It's a vibrant day here.
And I've got to say, I've spoken to quite a number of Burkina Faso on this particular point. And whenever the word market comes up, they their eyes brighten up like that. They say, yes, because that's when people come together. You can buy anything in the market. It's a communal activity, one that brings the whole communities together from far and wide together, where you can buy and sell virtually everything. So that it becomes the center of commerce. And why, whenever that word is used, I can understand now why it's a central feature in the local economy. Here, I live in London, so of course we have markets in London, but the high streets are equivalent to the market. We have high streets, yes, and so we have tens of millions of people to do this, but there in Burkina Faso, what is clear, in every village, in every town, those markets are the economic centers. That's what drives the local economy. Okay.
Yes.
It's powerful. It is truly powerful, a powerful concept.
It is truly powerful, yes.
And
I can list you big markets like
go ahead,
the market
please,
of Zorgo, the market of Pitenga. So the market of Pitenga existed more than 600 years.
Oh, 600 years.
So it is a very good market. It's a very good market. More than 600. It's always been on the same place. And then you understand, people have built now big buildings and all of those around it, but it have always been there because it was a cattle market. It was where a lot of people come to buy the cattle there and then take them to Nigeria and then take them to Ivory Coast and take them to Ghana, to Benin. So that market existed for long. So it's still 3 days, every 3 days. There are some shopping malls or things that are being built around it now, but that market is still there. And they aim to just leave it natural, keep it the way it is, you understand?
Yes.
With the hangars, and then you understand, because it is it should be a listed place. Like what
protected, yes.
People, the new generation can still see how those markets had a big impact.
Yes.
A big impact. And so, that it's a small town that is well known from all the West African countries. Anybody that of West Africa, they say, oh yes, we know about it.
Right. Okay. And other markets, tell us.
Yes.
And talk about other markets. You mentioned 2, 3 now. Any more you can tell us about?
Yes, the market of Dori. So that's the north. Dori, yes. So that's another cattle market. It's really nice. The market of Dori. And then we can do the market of how to call it? The Sapui market. The Sapui market too is really good. So those are traditional market where when you go, you can see the even Chebele, the market of Chebele. Oh, you go to market of Chebele mainly during farming season or harvesting season. You go to
Harvest.
Jubilee Market for harvest and season. Oh, yes. It's the best time to go. Maybe September, October, you go there. Woo, you will enjoy Jubilee markets. Yeah.
Again, audience, notice how he's smiling and his eyes are widened. You know, whenever I speak to Burkina Bay about market, their eyes widen and say yes, and it's excitement.
Oh,
So we
definitely,
must
yeah.
visit, must visit those markets.
It is a must
Okay.
visit. No, when we go there, we have to visit. If you don't go to the market, you haven't been there. You have to go to the market on the day of the market. You go, you know, we go early or afternoon time. Oh, yeah, you will even see the vibration, you know. And then, we forget to talk, and the music, local music, that's when the local music is played. So you will find those local musicians will come to the market.
That's right.
And then do some music.
Yes.
And then, you know, so play some drums, do some dancing. And it's the time for you to support them, you know, because rarely they do concerts there. So it's the day of the market. The musicians, initially that's how it happened. Now they do small concert there and there. The musicians will come and then they will sing your eloge. You know, I don't know whether eloge is English, but they will sing for your ancestor. You know, they will tell you about your ancestors. So, for example, if you say, "Oh, you are a Gurunsi," so my ancestor, when I've done my DNA, I'm a Gurunsi. So those musicians, they will sing about it. They will tell you about who was your forefather. Then they will tell you, yes, because that's how they pass the history.
Old tradition. Yes.
They will tell you that, and then they will say, "Oh, your grandfather was this, your grandfather Adeba was this one, this was warrior, he did that." So, and then you too, it will empower you, it will make you stand up. You'll be like, yeah, you start to feel like, you know, it's he's raising your blood pressure, you know, because he's telling you about your ancestor, he's telling you what he did, he's telling you when he did it, how many kings you have on the ancestry. He tell you what they were doing. So that's where they pass your history. So if you listen to that, you know, all right. So that's why when they say, people say something, "Oh, if Africans have no history or they didn't write their own history," no, they transferred it through music, and through social gathering. So it's something they transfer it to you to that, and then you know, it's mainly oral, but it was there.
Absolutely. As I said, I've spoken to quite a number of Burkina Faso on this subject, and if everything happened, and you're right, those performers are an important, integral part of the market tradition. Well, that would make market. Okay, to hear you describe performers able to recite a person's lineage, history, family history in that manner will be powerful. I look forward, you see, going to that market, maybe with you, and have them recite my actual history. Once I tell them the people from which my gene says I'm most linked with, mostly gurus, and it's fascinating. It would be a fascinating and spiritually enlivening experience, and I would encourage many of the 250 or so million diaspora Africans who've not been to Africa before to make that visit. It is so critical to our futures, our spiritual future, our general health and well-being. Praise be. We thank you, Wempinga. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Tim.
That was absolutely beautiful. I've got one more question, or maybe a little more, but I want to go back to business. And it's so important. But first, we'll just have some contact, and this will help some people to help them to decide and think about Burkina Faso. You see, when we think of Britain, I'm going to pause there. We've got maybe another hour of our dialogue to recite, but it's for this particular podcast, if we make it too long. So with the next 48 hours, the entire podcast series will be issued. So come back to the channel to watch the rest of that dialogue. As you can see, it was a detailed, rich, information-rich experience, culturally and spiritually enlivening experience to be with the presidents of the Burkina people here in United Kingdom. It was truly, truly a powerful experience. And if you had any doubts, I believe he has taken away those doubts. We must visit the homeland. You must visit Africa. You must visit Africa. And if you're not sure, I say to many, if you're not sure which part to visit, just ask for advice. But most certainly, get your DNA tested. Let's find out which part of the continent, which peoples you most probably are directly aligned with. Your gene says you are most likely aligned with. It will be truly a powerful experience and defy the propaganda pool that we've had to live in for most of our, if not our entire lives. Okay, it most certainly will. I was immensely proud to do that interview. It was a powerful experience. We want to give praise and respect to all the peoples of Burkina Faso, the Burkinabes, as they call themselves. We want to give praise and respect to them. The land of the upright people. Yep, they're tall and proud. Absolutely, absolutely right. Absolutely right. This is the Motivator Show. This is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. You understand that. So come back in the next 24, 48 hours and you'll see the entire series in bite-sized chunks. So about 20, 30 minutes so you can watch the series in your own time. But it's a powerful, truly emotionally engaging moment for you. One for you, and most critically for our children, the young ones, whose minds are ready to accept the truth and see new opportunities. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But of course, this is the Motivated Show. We are very much a campaigning show. Raise issues of mutual concern that we should all discuss. There are two issues I want to raise. The first issue is a little sensitive, and I know some people, some men, some women would feel a little queasy, but we must raise it. And that's the issue of FGM, that is female genital mutilation or the cut. In some cultures across the continent and part of Asia, it's seen as being some rites of passage, some spiritual enlightenment of sorts. But I can only tell you of more than 100 women that I've spoken with and discussed these matters with, who are indeed FGM survivors, would say otherwise. And I say 100 women, 100% of them have said if they had a choice, it would not have happened to them. They would not have allowed it to happen if they had a choice. We do not discuss this subject sufficiently. I'm one of very few podcasters who would regularly bring up the subject, very similar to our lifestyle messages. Okay. But this is the Motivator Show. Yeah, this is where we translate our words into action because success is ours for the taking. And for that reason alone, we will discuss it for a few minutes and bring it to our attention. I have a close friend, a close associate who I work with. Her name is Councillor Naima Ali, who is indeed our local FGM survivor, but she's also an ambassador working to seek the eradication of the practice. She's one of many women who continue to suffer the physical and psychological consequences of FGM. I know some of you find it a little queasy. I understand. I get it. I get it. But those of you of strong hearts and understand the importance of this subject, because I cannot understand personally that I would allow that to happen to my wife. I could not allow it to happen to my daughters or my nieces or any woman that I care for. I just could not let it happen. Okay, I would not want a part, the most sensitive part of our body, to be ripped away. I just could not. I really want to speak to men, to be honest with you. I've said this many a times. I want to speak to men who are in support of this practice. Okay? I want to speak to you. I want to really understand and get below the hood, as it were. Get to understand why this practice it means so much to men in particular. Okay? I want to get to understand you because it is such the women I've spoken to have spoken with such force, such passion on the subject to me, but feel unable to do so within their own families or community settings. That is what's sad. So I'm going to put the details on the screen for you. Now, Councillor Naima Ali, she's a former mayor of Southwark. She's the founder of Unshackled Duma. And just to be clear, so there's no misunderstanding what Unshackled Duma is intended. Unshackled Duma is Southwark, or indeed a London-based organisation that empowers women and girls, particularly from Black, Asian, so-called ethnic minority or Muslim communities. The organisation focuses on promoting self-empowerment, autonomy and advocacy, with a strong emphasis on combating female genital mutilation, FGM. It raises awareness about FGM's harmful effects, supports survivors, and works towards eradicating the practice. Now, I'm leaving that on the screen, so those of you who wish to reach out to Councillor Naima Ali, to join with her to eradicate this practice, the harm, psychological and physical harm that it's doing to tens of millions of our women, okay? Join with her. Join with her. Men and women, join with her. Reach out to her. The email address, it's unshackledduma, followed by digit 2, @gmail.com. Unshackledduma, followed by digit 2, @gmail.com. Reach out to her. Even if your own community doesn't practice this, reach out to her. Give her that support that she needs to continue the fight. She is an FGM survivor, and she proclaims it. She will not hide from it, and she understands the importance of this campaign. I would to express my unreserved support for her and those women who are indeed survivors, and those who might potentially be inflicted by this practice. You have our unreserved support. We hope that you can avoid it happening to you. We hope if your mum or dad, husband, that you will see the sense in not doing this to your daughters, not doing it to your women. It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary. I know it's sensitive, but I had to bring that to your attention. It's one of our campaigning points. We're not fearful here. We're not fearful here. We've got to face those issues that are directly impacting the communities. And this practice is one of those which is definitely having a negative impact. There's no shade in those of you who are supported and those for whom it has happened to, and you're perfectly comfortable. I can only say, of the 100 women I've spoken to, 100 said they would not wish this for their daughters. I'm going to take their word for it. And if I've got it wrong, why not reach? I'd love to hear from you. If I've got this wrong, please reach out to us. Here we go. Email addresses on, let me take that one off. In fact, let me do this. You got it there? There you go. In fact, let me do this. Let me do this one for you. Take that one off. I'm going to put on our email address on the screen. There you go. Write to us at The Motivator Show 501 @gmail.com. The Motivator Show 501 @gmail.com. Write to us. Love to hear from you. Let's enter into a dialogue. We will not shame you. We definitely want to communicate with you. That's for sure. Okay, there you are. And the second issue, and before we leave, just stay with us just for a few more minutes. An issue that continued to pervade the communities. Okay. And that's the issue of Windrush. If you're here in Britain, or indeed the Caribbean and part of Africa, you understand that terminology. It's only a catchphrase. It's a catchphrase for those who are part of the Commonwealth, okay, and were born in the 50s and 60s and 70s, okay, and were in this country, in Britain, but then had their nationality taken away from them by successive laws of Parliament. Because the vast majority of you were born under the auspices of the 1948 Act, which meant that you are indeed British citizens. Mhm. But that was taken away from you. Mhm. I want you to listen just for a moment to the voice of a former British Prime Minister and hear what she said at a Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Mhm. Listen to his Prime Minister speak to the Prime Ministers, the leaders of the Commonwealth countries. Here we go.
On Tuesday, I met with Caribbean leaders, where I gave an absolute commitment that the UK government will do whatever it takes, including where appropriate payment of compensation, to resolve the anxieties and problems which some of the Windrush generation have suffered. These people are British, they are part of us, they helped to build Britain, and we are all the stronger for their contributions.
Power for her. Now, that was Theresa May, former Prime Minister of Britain, making it very clear to Caribbean, indeed African leaders, that those who have suffered under the so-called Windrush generation, okay, are British. It was very clear. She gave that instruction, she made a public declaration. That is so. She said it in Parliament. That is so. But yet today, still today, just compensation is still being waited for, and still thousands, tens of thousands do not have their citizenship. And that is nearly 10 years after those words were spoken. So we must do better as a nation here in Britain. We must do better. And I want to now bring to your attention the work of Anthony Brown, who'd lead a campaign for a Windrush Act. Hello, Anthony. We've not spoken for a little while. Need to get you back here in the studio for you to provide an update on progress to date. Okay. It is an important issue, one that will not go away. Yeah. Many of these people are now approaching retirement. Many are approaching retirement. And in their retirement, they're suffering these indignities. We must do better as a nation here in Britain. Sorry, we will do better as a nation here in Britain. Okay. So let me put the details here on the screen. There you go. So we're calling for a Windrush Act because actions speak louder than words. The time for action is now. Translate our words into action. Contact WD Legal. It's a website address. It's wdlegal.co.uk. Join the campaign to secure the Windrush Act. Together, we will make the difference. And through that website, you contact Anthony Brown, who's leading that campaign. Well done, Anthony. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. We're getting back in the studio. Keep up the good work. Vitally important work. Long may you continue your great works. Well done. Well done. Well done. And finally, I'll just say this to you all. There are, of course, other campaignings for other episodes of The Motivated Show. Please, if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. Leave a comment or give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate a thumbs up, okay? We appreciate that. But more importantly, your feedback is invaluable. We want to hear from you. And if we haven't responded, look, we've got our email address. Send a message to us via our email address, of course. And I'll repeat the email. It's the Motivator Show 501 @gmail.com. untold.com. There it is on the screen. And you can always read back on the recording. So, there you have it. An inspired episode of The Motivator Show. Here we've shared a bundle of information, inspired information you've heard from the president, of the High Council, the Burkina people abroad, the power of God, Wempange Compere, and you've not heard the entire dialogue with him, but it got better and better and better. And what we heard was pretty good, huh? It's truly inspired. It comes from the inspired people, who indeed has a truly inspiring leader. His Excellency, President Ibrahim Traoré. Long may you continue your great works. Long may you continue. And I know others will try to disrupt it. We get it. But you are set. You are focused. You understand the environment you're in. You understand the hostile environment we're in. Okay? You understand it. But you're prepared mentally, physically for it. You're planning for it so that you can thrive. We will thrive. I say to you, until the next time, and if in doubt, I remain the motivator.
Tengodo, the oldest Morsi kingdom, believed to have been established by Kwajodo himself. By the 11th century, the descendants of Kwajodo established a centralized state that became known as the Morsi Kingdom. This kingdom played a significant role in shaping the region's history and politics. Burkina Faso, from Thomas Sankara to President His Excellency Ibrahim Traoré. The High Council of Burkinabés Abroad, United Kingdom, speaks exclusively on The Motivator Show.
In the past, you came to Africa with armies and took our lands. Now you come with companies and contracts. You used to rule us with whips and guns. Now you control us with loans and deals.
We will tell them that Africa is a continent of hope, a continent of fighters, and Africa is a continent of the future. And we are going to fight for that.